probably enough template that I can just go and
Just put it in.
but there might be other stuff that is needed.
Yeah, if there's anything I come up with, I'll
Yeah.
just let you know.
Yeah,
That's
and I
fine.
can just add it to it.
Yes.
it's cold.
Well, I don't know. What was the degrees?
Oh, it was 6 in my car and I couldn't
I didn't look at it. What was it in?
It was about when you ran the freeworks. I thought I think
Oh
it was
yes, it was 6. Yeah.
6 degrees. Then it got down to 5.
Oh.
My hands are like ice.
Icy today, isn't it?
Not
Oh,
good heating.
wow.
I'll take your jumper off because it might get too warm in here. It's all good.
True.
It's warmer in here than it is out in our open area. We're all
Yeah.
sitting there freezing and
That's
we
when I
think
like
the heat is
I've
horrible.
got a little heater underneath to heat your legs up.
Oh, wow. I'm thinking of we're going to go to Kmart and get those little throw rugs.
Yeah, little
Throw
ground
rugs for our
blankets.
laps.
Why don't you want to sit? You got something in there.
The weight's not even.
No.
We'll
Too
need,
much crap in there.
we'll need an extra chair.
Yeah, there's one here, and if I need to get some more,
Yeah, I
I'll
think
organise
she's
it.
bringing someone else with
No
her.
worries, that's fine. I can
Do you
get
know-
one.
Do you know her?
No. I spoke to Glenda yesterday, and is her name?
Hang on. What have we got here?
Might be. Yeah, I just met her for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we got an extra one.
She's
That's
the
alright, I can
support
grab another
coordinator.
chair, that's not an issue. I'm going to slide over a little bit.
Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Good,
I'm just going to
see
go
ya.
grab another chair.
No worries, thank you.
No worries.
Don't be too close to your boy though.
I know.
Oh, that's all right. At least he hasn't got me sitting on his lap. That'd be
No.
even more
Yeah,
closer.
no. I rather not that.
At least it's warmer in here.
It is nice and warm in here.
Yeah.
Kim, this is Kate and Nathan.
Hey, how you going? Good, thank you. Hey, Nathan.
How are you?
And you met Tammy.
I'm Bernadette.
Hey, Bernadette.
Hi,
Hello,
Bernadette.
how you going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
It is amazing.
I tried to get that room, but it's all booked out.
That's all right.
This might be a record in this room.
There's 6 of us in here.
Oh, I could get another drink.
Excellent.
Then I'll be sitting on your lap.
Bernadette's had her hair done.
Who has?
Oh, it's just, I've straightened it. Yes, it's dealing with my not so wanted blonde. There's a method to my hairdresser's madness, I'm sure. Not understanding what it is at this stage.
What? Your hands are frozen.
Not normally.
Bloody hell.
Oh, we haven't got a warm heart today.
Yes.
Thought I was worse.
Okay, I need
So
to.
we're full circle on your plan. 1 year nearly gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean 1 year wasted?
Been gone, hasn't it? What's been happening? Like I haven't been able to. I've had a good look at your plan over the last couple of days, and it's sort of seen, a little bit of what's been
I
happening.
hope you know all about it.
Oh, I've got lots of notes.
It's alright then.
It's about you,
Yeah. But that's right. This is an opportunity for us to have a look at what you want moving forward, and build a whole new plan.
Well, I've really achieved nothing.
Okay, that's alright.
Go
We'll go
straight
through all
into
of that anyway.
You have achieved something.
Oh, I've overachieved some,
It's
but
only in the last.
In the last couple of months, or last 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, there have been a lot of people that started their plans where they've found it really difficult and hit a lot of hurdles and that kind of thing, and haven't achieved everything they've wanted to at the start. And hopefully, if you've identified a few things that you want moving forward, we can make that a little bit better than what it has been, or a little bit more positive, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. So we are going to go through the questions that you completed last time, but most of them have the old answers in them. So I'm just going to ask you if this is what we said last time, do we want to change it at all?
Right.
So we'll go through it and just talk our way through it all and see what we have a look at and then go through from there.
Oh, well, we don't need this business.
That's all right. Coming out.
Okay.
Excellent. Alright, ready for question time. The fun part.
here we go.
It's thrilling, isn't it? At least it's, like I said, at least it's warm.
Yeah.
That's a bonus. Alright, so the first ones we're going to go through, like I said, I've got some responses there, and hopefully some of it may have changed, some of it might be that, you know, things haven't changed. That's okay, we'll work through it.
Alright.
So these questions are only related to how much difficulty you've had with anything in the last 30 days, so the last month. So, there's a lot of physical questions in there. So with regards to, say, standing and walking a kilometre, that kind of thing, do you have any difficulties with that sort of stuff? And
No.
we noticed last time, no, there was no problems with that, so I won't.
I walk everywhere.
You walk everywhere? Excellent. Okay, how do you go taking care of your household responsibilities? Last time you said that was a little bit hard, like doing all that on your own.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you still have a lot of difficulty with that? Has that changed at all?
Not really.
And you get someone coming in to help with that at all?
No,
Or? No.
just-
Okay.
Me,
You've been the main
Yeah.
support there, yeah.
yeah.
There's only the three of us.
Alright, learning something new. So last time you said you have a lot of trouble with learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is that still the same? Has there been any changes
Mm-mm.
with that?
No.
What about joining in, you know, community activities? Have you been able to do anything
No, I
like
don't
that?
like doing that.
No? You're more of a one-on-one sort of person?
That's right.
Or? Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, how much have you emotionally been affected? Last time you
Very.
said it was very,
Very,
yeah. Okay.
very affected.
How do you go with concentrating on doing things for, say, 10 minutes or more? If you're good at concentrating, if it's, say, something you don't want to do?
Well,
Who is?
Yeah.
just like last time when I was seeing what was that room there, I towards the end walked out. I couldn't have
Okay.
couldn't have it.
Yeah, so last time you said there was a fair bit of difficulty there, so we can...
His mum witnessed it.
How do you go with
all
things?
the time.
Yeah.
I walked out a few times, so I can tell you
Yeah.
that now.
Okay. What about doing stuff like getting yourself dressed, getting yourself showered, all that sort of stuff? Do you ever need prompting
Showers
to do
at
all
night
that?
and I get myself dressed.
Yep. Any difficulties there?
You need prompting with a few things.
Just the prompting. You can physically do it yourself, but need a
Yeah,
prompt
to how
reminder.
well, it depends.
No worries. How do you go with dealing with people you don't know?
That's the only thing.
It-
Well, if I'm told in advance, I'm okay, but really I like to stick to the same people because
Okay.
I'm used to that.
Yep.
Because I don't like change.
Okay.
It does like to build a good rapport with people and get to trust them.
And I don't like dodgy ones either.
Okay. I'm just going to take some notes as well.
Because there's plenty of them out there that I know.
In saying that too, Nathan, you've done really well meeting a couple of new care workers over the last, you know,
Yeah.
2 months, so
I'll
that's been
I'll
awesome.
tell you because I've had no choice, because of this stupid system.
But hasn't it
Yeah,
turned out
it's
well
been
though
good, yeah.
for you? And it was slow and
Yeah.
it worked out very well and you did awesome.
Yeah.
So you are doing good.
And that was exactly the point I was going to make when you first said, you know, when you said your plan hasn't been working for you.
It
In
hasn't.
some ways, it really has, because you have jumped some hurdles that you weren't willing to jump before. So you have done well.
It's the sort of thing that someone else had.
Yeah, everyone's got them.
Yeah.
Think
Nice and portable, which is great. Yeah, they're pretty good. You pull them apart, they turn into a tablet. Yeah, they're
I
great.
have seen them.
Yeah. Have you got any close friends?
Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
but they're not nowhere near my age.
Okay. So you've been able to sort of, you know, keep your close friends and...
Well, I've had to. Well, when I went to school, I had friends, but we don't keep in contact anymore.
Okay.
I don't like ones in my age.
activities at the moment with your service providers? So
Yes, I do. On Mondays, I do literacy, reading with Marcia from Australian Unity.
For 2 hours.
2 hours. That's Mondays and Wednesdays.
okay, you part of any other activities at all, or you just sort of do your own things?
Yeah.
If you could just say the rest of the week.
Yeah, I think Bernadette will get to that.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll go back over that old participant statement and see how that's changed over the last 12 months. So, okay, so has there been any days where you haven't been able to, say go to your literacy and numeracy classes over the last month, or you've been pretty regular with
I've only just. How long has it taken? Tammy?
What's that?
How long has it taken for me to start back? My literacy and numeracy?
Well, probably to when I started working there, so before that to the start
So
of the
virtually,
plan,
virtually since August last year, I've had nothing.
Yeah, it's only started.
Yeah, so
Last
until
2 months.
yeah.
Roughly 6 months, yeah.
Because realistically, my mum rang the NDIA and my mum was told that someone will ring in 2 to 3 days, and guess what? Nothing bloody happened. I was very. Mum, this is my thing. I was very pissed off with that.
Okay, that first one is done. Alright, next set of questions. Like I said, a lot of these are filled with your previous answers, so I'll just see if there's been any changes to
I hope
those.
there's one in there that I don't like.
Mm.
I'll let you get to them. I'll let you know.
Let us know when we get there.
Yes.
Okay, so we said last time that the highest level of school you've done was you did the whole of school right through to year 12, is that right?
Mm.
Yep. And it said that you haven't done any other courses.
I won't be going any more
Yeah.
courses in my life again.
That's alright. And you're currently living with family, is that correct?
That's Mum and my
Yeah.
sister, but she's not here at this stage.
Yep. Okay.
I do have a cat, by the way, too.
Yeah. What's your cat's name?
Well, we call her an internet name, Dodo, but her real name's Chloe.
I don't know how they got Dodo, but she
She answers to all of them. And who does she come to of a morning?
Do you feed her in the morning?
Well, she comes and wakes me up. So I sat by this, I thought, hello, what's going on? And then she saw me, she came trotting up to my room.
and she meows until he gets
Oh, God, she's a pain in the butt sometimes.
She's your motivator.
Yes.
That's what I call my dogs.
Okay. So, do you get to choose who supports you? So, you've chosen your support workers to a degree, or
Mum supports me.
yeah.
So does my sister in some ways.
You don't have a choice about that. You can only pick
Oh,
one.
I know. It's only the 3 of us, as I said. So.
And do you choose what you get to do each day?
Varies that way.
Yeah. Is there other things that you'd like to be able to do?
Well, there's things I haven't been able to do is like sound and technology,
Mhm.
which I haven't been able to do. So where does all this go?
This information.
Mm.
Will I take it back to my desk afterwards and start working on your new plan?
And then where does it go from there?
From there, I send it off to get looked at and approved, and then I call you back in, and all your support coordinators call you back in, and we go back through it.
Alright, because you better do a good job of this. Because
I'll put any
I've
information
had
you give me.
I've had people do this at once and they've stuffed it.
You can say her name.
Louise K. Smith stuffed it.
Okay. She's not here today.
Oh, that's right.
She knew which day to have off.
I don't want to say it. I thought she did.
Alright, do you want to have more choice and control in your life and what you do? Or you-
Yes.
Okay. And do you feel like your plan has given you any more choice and control over the past 12 months?
No. Because of what I've been on hasn't done much for me at all. Until I found out. Just get that thing out there.
Okay.
Well,
The thing I printed out the other day on the computer.
yeah, well,
You'll get a chance.
Bernadette's
Alright,
talking.
Get a chance
So
to
you're getting ahead of yourself.
let it all out.
Yeah, no, that's all sure. We'll
Shortly.
get to.
Brenda knows you.
Alright, so last time we said that you do need some support with domestic tasks, so that's like your cleaning, chopping, cooking, that
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. And you do get some of that support. That's from
I don't cook at home.
Mum.
I
Yep. Okay.
I don't like cooking.
Alright. Do you think the support Mum gives you there, do you think that meets your needs, or do you think you need somebody else to come in
No.
and give you some support?
I prefer Mum do cooking because I've done it before and I've never been interested in it. The
Alright.
only thing I cook is like 2-minute noodles, only takes 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. Nice and quick. So we've got down, personal care, you're able to do things yourself, but it just came down to a little bit of prompting.
Yeah.
Like I take the bins out, but like I took them out last night
Yeah.
because where previously I could never do it by myself because
Okay.
the street was too dark, so
I
I always freak out. But because where we are now, there's traffic going past every time,
yeah,
so it makes me feel at ease.
that's a little bit easier. Yeah.
Mm.
Excellent. So how do you get around in terms of travel? Do you get bus? You just walk, or would you ever catch buses?
Yeah,
Or?
but answer the question.
I get taxis. I have taxis.
Okay. Yeah.
And Mum.
And Mum.
Mm.
And that's because Nathan doesn't, catching a bus and public transport causes him some level
I don't
of
like buses.
anxiety.
Don't like them.
Okay.
If I ever catch a bus, it's either got to be a taxi bus because there's no one else on me. Because every time a bus is mentioned, that's when a scar happens
Yeah.
in my head.
I understand.
Mm.
I understand.
That's good. It said that you need some support to communicate with other people. So that's around, if you don't have any notice and you're suddenly put in front of
I do
somebody.
get quiet around people, yes, and I do get really nervous around people because I'm not used to new people. Because I can sense whether they're a mum or dad,
Mhm.
and don't ask me how I do that.
Yeah.
I just sense it. It's like one of those things that go along the ground.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I sense a lot of things.
No worries. Okay, so if we put down last time that you don't need support to get out of the house, so if you've got somewhere to go, you're fine to leave the house
Mm-hmm.
and do that. It said you don't need support with finances or money. You're able to do that on your own, are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mum does it.
Well, he's
Mum
in,
gives
well,
you
he's in the
ideas.
community, but yeah, Kay definitely does all the budgeting
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sorting out
Okay.
how much Nathan.
I try to
has
tell him because I've had some issues lately.
I don't want to
And
know about it.
Don't want to know, you do it. And I've tried to explain.
Yeah.
Talking about money with Mum is out of my question.
Okay.
I do
Because
explain,
all it does is causes arguments and fights. So I thought,
Nathan.
nah.
Nathan.
What?
I do explain to
I know,
you,
but you
and
don't
I
have-
tried to show you what needs to be done, and you can't do this
Mm.
because you haven't got enough for that.
Yeah, okay, enough, please.
There you go.
Okay. Do you need help with reading and writing? Last time you said yes,
Yes.
and you
Because-
just started
because
back.
To do an email to people, I'm like, how do I start this off? And because really, because when because I've got a computer at home, not down here as well. If the very first time I had sent an email, I'm like, what's the point of the subject? My sister had to help me out. I didn't know how to do it.
Excuse me.
I could never read. I can read certain things, but not everything.
Your reading improved when you had Jan.
Yeah, my reading
With
improved
the
when I was
one-on-one.
Because
Yeah, it
one-on-one's better for me. I don't like being in groups. I can't stand them. Because when you're in a group, they only look at one person. And that wasn't me.
Okay. And it said here you don't need support with technology,
No.
so you're pretty good with.
Because
some stuff.
I'm always learning.
Excellent.
The way I learn is on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you're a visual
definitely.
learner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because if I need to know something, I look up on YouTube. I'm like, that's how you do it.
Something.
It's like with this. It's like with the NBN when my nan's modem dropped out.
Yeah.
She couldn't ring us,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what's going on here? I thought, right, let's go.
Oh,
And there was only 2 lights. There's meant to be 3.
oh,
Yeah.
Whereas ours has got 4.
Mm.
you missed a little bit.
What?
Your auntie rang, looking.
Oh,
for
my auntie rang. She said, "Is Nan there?" I said, "No. Why? What's going on?" And I thought, I better just try myself. So I tried 2 or 3 times. I thought, no. I thought, Mum, that's it. We're going to go around Nan's.
Nana's phone was saying something
And my
different.
phone,
And
it's
doesn't normally do that,
doesn't-
and then Nathan was
It'll learn-
had up a
I
drum
knew-
pipe and said,
Yeah.
let's go around to Nana's, and I thought so. I was right.
I was
Yeah.
right. It was the modem.
And-
Oh,
Because
okay.
what you do is with these MDM modems, they're hybrid modems.
Mm.
You press the reset button.
Mm.
Oh no, not reset button. The power button.
Yeah.
Turn it off for a couple of seconds. Let it reset.
Yep.
And turn it back on.
That was fine after that.
Mhm.
Oh wow, excellent.
So yeah, one of Nathan's identified goals is IT, but it's more to learn the stuff that interests him that he doesn't know about.
Okay.
So he's good with doing what he can do on the computer and things, but he certainly does have a goal to. It is something that he does like, and he does like to think that he can improve on that. So he's one of his goals is to continue improving with his IT and because it's a passion that he's got. He knows it's something that he can do and he does like and he does
Okay.
have a good understanding of it. But I think on a bigger scale than just operating your laptop and fixing the NBN.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
bigger scale like, production and editing and,
Yeah.
and music, adding music to videos and things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's a bit
Yeah.
broader than just our general.
Because-
Just the general stuff. Yeah.
Because I do have a YouTube channel, and it's got drum covers on it, but they're not that good.
Okay. Yep.
Because I know there's a lot of guys I follow on social media, and I'm thinking to myself, how the hell do they do that? Then this particular guy I follow, Casey Cooper, he
Okay.
shows it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he has about 8 or 9 camera angles, but not including the foot.
Oh, okay then.
And then he uploads them all to the computer, and then has a special software called Final Cut Pro, but I don't have it because of cost. But
Yeah.
the cheapest way to do that is iMovie.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I've heard about iMovies a bit lately, actually.
Hmm.
Had a few people mention it and said they love it.
It's good, but
Yeah.
do you think I know how to use it? No.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, exploring those options for
Mm.
Nathan is certainly what his goals would be that he's not been able to explore
Yeah.
and endeavour really to be.
Mm.
Okay.
Because I haven't achieved any of those goals.
Okay then.
That's right.
Okay, so in your last plan, you said that if you needed to call someone for help or anything, you've got your family that you can contact.
And my sister.
Yep.
And my auntie as well, my nan.
Okay, so you call your sister and your nan and your auntie.
Aunties.
Aunties. That I don't remember the other one's number.
Okay, are you happy with how often you see your family?
My nan I can see, yes.
Yep.
But the rest go a little bit without.
The last response you had was, no, I'd like to see them less.
So nothing's changed.
So we can keep that the same.
Yeah.
Okay, Alrighty. Alright, do you feel like your plan has helped you to meet more people?
In the last... That's a good question, that one. When did I start again, Tammy?
Probably a bit about 2 months. I'd
2
say
months.
2
In the last 2 months. Because Tammy's the one that's been working hard on it, and so is Glenda.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic.
And you've met us.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
But yes, I mean,
Yeah,
it has been a
Lot of
difficult
issues.
process for Nathan, but he has met some more people and
Okay.
he's beginning to cope with that a little bit better. But as far as
I've got it.
social connections, I don't think it hasn't allowed you to meet other people that you engage with socially or
Mm.
when you're not with your family.
interests.
But when I'm home, I'll stick to myself. I don't go out anywhere. I do, but you know.
Okay, so are you happy with the home you live in? Last time you said yes, and you would see yourself still living there in 5 years' time?
I'm not moving out.
Yep, fair enough. Happy where you are? Okay, and you said that you feel
I
very
might
safe
move
in
out.
your home.
I love it. How long have we been here now, Mum?
Just over 12 months, I put.
Mm.
That's what we said.
It's quite a big house too.
Okay, last time when we asked this question, we said, do you think that your health is excellent, very good, good, fair or poor? You said it was fair. Has that improved? That's thinking about your physical and mental health.
The mental health has gotten a lot worse, I think, because of all this stress I've been put under. As I said, I've been that stressed out, it hasn't been fun.
He's looking down at his physical health.
Oh, you had to say it.
We had down that you do have a doctor that you see on a regular basis.
Yes,
Has that changed since a year ago? Have you had any new doctors or anything, or still seeing the same doctor?
same ones.
Okay. And it says, do you feel safe getting out and about in your community? You said no last time.
I've got ways. Tell you
Yeah.
something. When I'm down the street, because Mum said, because every time she goes to Leamington, I'll walk down the street. She said, Nathan, you come with me. I thought, righto. You know what I do?
What's that?
I do a lot of Google boxing. You know what that means?
No.
You're going to get a bit of a shock over this. I watch people.
Mhm.
As in, not in that way. I'll make sure everything's all right. If people are doing something strange, they don't even know I'm watching it.
Okay.
Just
So
like,
you
it was
observe
like
what's
it was like yesterday. Mum and I were on the freeway, and this person was driving not very good. You know what I did? I recorded it.
Oh,
video
okay.
on my phone. And they didn't even know. I keep an eye on a lot of things. And I always monitor things.
Alright, do you get the opportunity to learn new things over the last, thinking about, the last 12 months in particular?
I have started to learn to do Photoshop, I think it's Photoshop or whatever it's called. Photography, that's one of my interests too. I'm in that, which I didn't even know it had it in the photo app.
Okay, and that's just all sort of self-taught and going onto YouTube?
Well, I ain't the photos at the moment because I haven't really filmed a video yet.
Has Michelle helped you with that at all?
But the videos,
Yeah.
not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, because I haven't got one in the folder.
Right, yeah.
Which
Very
we have started with the photos though.
Yeah, good.
Mm.
So that's just recently started
Okay.
with the work that you.
Because I like people that have knowledge in things.
And that's hard, right?
No, because I
Right,
don't
right,
because
well.
because I'll tell you, I've had one uni student teaching me. Do you think that works? No.
No, it didn't work? Okay. This is probably going to be a possibility, but in the last 12 months, is there any training courses or learning that you've wanted to do that you haven't been able to do?
There goes another scar. No, and I won't be doing any more courses at TAFE. I'm
Yeah.
not going through that again.
Is there anything like you wanted to learn a little bit more with,
One-on-one.
so just around that one-on-one, having
And
that
it's
support
what I haven't been able to do, which is sound and technology.
We had down know that you weren't working in a paid or an unpaid job. Would you like to be able to work in a paid job?
I knew that would come up. No. Can you just don't talk about that, please? That's when the scar happened.
Yeah.
I can see it now in my eyes.
It's just taking a second to load.
Is this on MDM?
I think so in this area, yeah.
Should be fast.
Yeah, should be.
Should be able to get 25 megabits per second.
Yeah, we've had server issues
Oh, that's not good.
lately. Okay, where was it? There we go, we're loading now. Okay. So last time you said you do free time, you do things that interest you. So is that such as your videos, your movies, that kind of stuff?
I'm always downloading from the internet,
Yeah.
which I know how to do very well. Once I was taught once, I kept doing it.
Okay, and with the services that you've been getting, you feel like they've been trying to help and listen to you and you get the supports you can try and get depending on the funding?
Till I found out what I was on, because Glenda told me,
Mm-hmm.
I said to her, what, because I went down with my mum to Aubrey Sound Lighting. I thought, this is where I need to be. I go back and tell Glenda. She said to me, you can't do it because you've got to be registered with the NDOs. I said, what the hell am I on? That's when she said agency managed. I thought,
Okay.
how the hell do I get on that? And apparently, what Glenda was told, that plan managed was denied. And why was it denied?
Okay.
Because that's what we want, is plan managed. And we are pushing very hard for it today.
Mm-hmm. That's all good. And you've got proven experience that having an NDIA managed plan hasn't worked, so that will support a request for plan management, definitely.
Yeah, I want it to happen because
Definitely push for that.
So I think the evidence that Nathan hasn't engaged in services where he would like to
Yep.
is certainly one of the issues, and certainly in relation to the sound and lighting, because there isn't
Yep.
the places where Nathan wants to go certainly are not NDIS registered providers, so he could have engaged with those people if he'd have been able to have his invoices paid and his time supported there to learn the things that he wanted to learn. Then I think, without using the work word or employment, opening those doors of opportunity for Nathan would certainly allow him to, further down the track, maybe 2 plans time or something, then start looking at those options of maybe volunteering once he's met people that are similar minded that can guide him in the right direction of, whether it's volunteering at the Hot House Theatre or things like that with the sound and lighting, that Nathan builds rapport with the people that are teaching him those skills, that he might eventually be able to open his mind up to, becoming part of a production or something like that. But until Nathan meets those people that are teaching him those skills and offering him those particular opportunities,
Okay.
there'll never be the ambition of having that as some sort of down the track career. But because we sort of try and avoid those conversations, but I think Nathan needs to kind of be there and doing it and experiencing it and around people that are like-minded and know what his ambitions are and what his skills are that he has got. Because like he said, he's shown something and he learns it and he keeps on doing it. That's how we all grow, but without those opportunities and being shown that to begin with.
Yeah.
And unless we found a particular, guy off one of his YouTube things or,
There's
to teach
plenty
him
out
those
there.
things,
Yeah.
it's very hard to find a support worker that's interested in sound and lighting.
Yeah.
That we can, whether Australian Unity has them on board as an employee or we do, or, it's been hard enough to find someone numeracy and literacy wise,
Yeah.
which is, another area that sort of failed not being plan managed. So Nathan had to then try and engage in new workers to be able to provide the same level of attention and understanding that Jan had, which has been an extremely difficult process for Nathan, Tammy and myself, trying to find people that will, know how to tap into Nathan's skills, know what level he's at, understand how he learns best. And of course, Jan will never be replaced by anybody, but unfortunately Jan had some great skills as a teacher, and her and Nathan built a great rapport. And
Yeah.
But there's one good thing that Marcia does. She does exactly the same thing as what Jan did.
yeah,
And where is she from?
Who? Australian
found her?
Unity.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
really good, really good. She does exactly the same thing as what Jan did. Which the only thing I take is the which my sister printed out and did some work on, was the it's not real money.
Mhm.
It might look real, but it's lemonade stuff.
Okay.
It's
No.
based on what that money that
Yeah, it's like real money, but she found it online,
Yeah.
and what happened, I think that they got it done at Officeworks and then laminated because our computer wouldn't do it.
Okay.
It'd come
Yep.
out different coloured stuff.
Yep. No worries.
What's going on?
ask Natalie.
just come in.
Oh.
Just come in and sit on her lap.
Nat,
Well, I was picturing us being in this room and somebody sitting on the floor.
I'll just get to get
Yeah.
another chair.
Excuse me, can we bring Natalie in as
Yeah, she's
well?
my sister.
Well,
Just
we
grab a
just
chair
one more
for you.
chair. Thank you.
That's my sister.
Okay, excellent.
Natalie's her name.
Just note the toilet's here, so do that.
And I always get the same chairs.
No, Natalie, we'll give you a chair. Is there any more room to sit a chair?
Yeah, that's
Do we
fine.
need a bigger room?
They're all
You got
booked.
2 minutes, friend.
Everyone's booked everything today.
Hey, I'm the odd one out. Why there's no males in here?
Squishy.
Then me.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Need to move it forward a little bit. Oh, there you go.
That'll be fine.
There you go.
I don't want to be that close to you.
That's alright.
Not that bad.
Sorry, didn't get
I don't introduce.
This is my sister Natalie.
Hello, I'm Bernadette. How you going?
Good, thank
This
you.
is Kim. You haven't met
Hi.
Kim yet.
There you go. I've written everyone's names down so I don't forget. Excellent.
And yes, we all live together, so.
Okay, excellent. Alright, so next one, I don't know if you did this one last time, there was a family questionnaire. So they're pretty basic questions, but I'm just going to flick through those and you guys can
So yes and
answer them together. So I'll just get into that one. Okay, do you currently work at all?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a permanent or casual position?
You're permanent.
Oh yeah, right. Thank you.
And what
I do
industry
3
do you work
evenings.
in?
Pardon?
What industry do you work in?
I'm a cleaner.
Okay. I think they collect stuff for data sometimes. I don't
Oh,
understand it. That's about them. Okay.
I don't know what I said last time, but anyway, that'll do.
Okay. Do you receive any payments, like care payment, care allowance,
Yes.
that kind of stuff? Do you get both of those?
I get, yeah.
Yeah. Are you currently doing any study?
No.
Okay, so with regards to Nathan, do you feel like you're able to identify Nathan's needs and support him with any needs that he's
Yes.
got in terms of accessing services, if he needs a hand to access services, that kind of thing as well? Do you feel like you have any difficulty at the moment, or it's become a bit easier with these ladies in place?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Yes. When he doesn't listen to me, it's then Natalie, she takes over.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
always been like that.
Okay. So would you say that you've got your own friends and family that you see as often as you like?
Yes, I don't see much of my family, but as it goes.
Okay, and you've got each other, like you've also got each other for support. You know, if
Yeah.
you need help with anything, you've got your mum or your sister. Okay, so do you feel like you get the services and supports needed for Nathan? Like, do you believe there's more that could be provided? And you've mentioned
Yeah,
that you haven't been able to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, more support. Do you feel as though the services that Nathan uses listen to you as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. And the services that are in place, you're happy with, you know, they're meeting the needs at this point in time and supporting to try and reach goals in place.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's only
Well-
so much that can be done with the funding that's there. But it's a matter of, you feel like there's, you can contact them
Yes.
if you need
Mhm.
to discuss anything further.
Yeah. Do that. I might not. Might take me a bit to think what I'm going to do, but anyway, I'll do it. Yeah. I try not to ring.
Go for it.
Well, Nathan's very good at getting on the phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in general, would you say your own health is excellent, very good, good, fair, or poor?
Oh yes, pretty good, yeah.
That's good.
Except for when I get very worked up with some
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And we've already determined that Nathan's getting some support that he needs, but there's other things that
Still
you
need
know,
to be
that need
worked
to
on.
be put in place.
Yes.
Yeah. I reckon those family questionnaires are probably, you know, some people are impacted a lot more by living with people that have their own difficulties. You know, such as, you know, if someone's in a chair, they've got a lot more physical responsibility and that kind of thing. So you see a lot more impact out of those statements with people that might have more, you know, physical demands or mental health or that kind of thing as well. So
I think definitely it takes its toll on Kay.
Yeah.
You know, if I can advocate for you, Kay, I
A
think
bit of toll on me too, thank you very
it
much.
does, yeah, absolutely. But Kay is certainly Nathan's first point of call to be coming up with the solutions and copping the brunt of the frustration of how things haven't worked. When things are not going well for Nathan, most definitely I think it does have an impact on Kay, and I certainly, since knowing Kay and Nathan and Natalie, I know how supportive Natalie is for Kay and Nathan as well. I think without Natalie, Kay would probably be up at Albury Base Hospital quite regularly.
Sorry.
If not Nathan, because I think
He
Kay.
doesn't listen to me, especially when
Yep.
he goes off.
Yep.
Oh, I
And
go
it
off
takes
all right.
Natalie to step in
Yep.
to
You know,
kind of break
so-
us apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know,
And he
Kay's
listens.
doing the absolute best that she can and has done, I think, for a number of years in being supportive and holding the family together.
Yeah.
And I think Kay also struggles with her own issues. So I think, you know, when these times are tough for Nathan, I think they're equally, if not more, as tough for Kay.
Yeah.
You know, just in relation to, it doesn't necessarily have to be the physical disability in a wheelchair that becomes impacting on the rest of the
absolutely,
family. And I think these guys do an amazing job with their support for Nathan.
Thank you, Colin.
Frozen?
It's doing something now, so they better recover the page.
Did you
Been
refresh
doing
it?
this a lot.
Did you refresh it?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
we've just done a refresh.
I know all that stuff.
It's all saved, thankfully. It does auto saves every couple of minutes, which is great. It's been a few meetings we've had where it's just,
Is it a Microsoft?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's what that's on the back.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Microsoft aren't that good, I have to say, but
Okay, so with regards to your plan, we've determined plan management
Plan
is very
management,
important.
yes,
Are you looking to get support coordination again as
yes,
well?
yes, please. Because Glenn has been really good.
So just for that continued
Yes.
support, because obviously things have kicked off quite late with
Yeah.
being able to get what you need.
Because it's stressed my
So
mum
it
out
might
a
be-
lot.
And you.
And me. Tell you. I wanna
And he
put a few
keeps at it.
shivers.
He keeps at it, like when things annoy him.
And what I also...
He doesn't stop talking about it. I could be in the toilet or wherever, or just I go to work, come back home, and he's still,
Straight into it.
yeah, he'd be talking to me, and I thought, I just need time out. Yeah.
I even talk to myself.
Or go to your room, get on your drums, or play music, play ACDC.
Which I haven't done.
So with this next plan, we've got the option to look at a 12-month plan or a 24-month plan.
What's a 24 month?
Instead of it going for 1 year, it can go for 2 years.
If it's done
So-
correctly.
So you can have a look at, alright, So, are you wanting to do something over the next 12 months and then potentially have new changes occurring 12 months after that? Then you'd look at that 12-month plan. And if you think things are going to be steady, stable, and you're going to be doing the same thing over the next 2 years,
That's how it'll be.
then you go with that. So it's just dependent on, you know, do you want us to look at your plan again in 12 months to make sure things are working out this time round with the difficulties that you've already had. So you've got that option to make changes.
I don't know, look
We're
at
all
different.
looking
Brenda,
at each
what do you
other.
reckon? Brenda, what do you reckon? 12 months or 2 years? Is that what 24 months is?
Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I reckon with all the trouble we've had, I reckon 12 months. I think, because I'm a bit sceptical on that.
Yeah,
Because
no, that's fine.
it's gone wrong.
But then
once.
if you got Glenda,
Yeah.
and she keep
Kim,
Oh,
between the two of us.
Oh,
So
so Kim will be
Kim's-
doing it too.
Kim's taking over from my support coordinator role, but I'll still.
Does she
But
know
I'll
all
be
of
doing
it though?
support coordination.
Does she
Yeah.
know all of it though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's alright. That's
It's
okay.
alright, you'll have plenty of time to tell her the lot.
I'm a very trained support coordinator.
That's what I need.
well, Nathan to keep you on your toes.
I'm
Don't
sure
say
I'll
that.
keep Nathan on his toes.
Yeah.
So I do think maybe the 12 months would be great, just to, you know, I don't know. If you,
Yeah. And then next plan, you can say, all right, let's go 24 months. Like you can change that at the next plan. I can note down 12 months because of the previous difficulties. You want to make sure things are working out this
Yes,
time round.
please.
And then from there you can go next plan, go, yep, things are great.
Things have
12
been
months.
consistent, things
Yeah.
are working for me.
Yeah.
And it would be, you know, a nice opportunity, especially if the plan management gets put into place, to be able to see if that's
Yes.
the thing that makes the difference.
Because plan management would be perfect for me.
Alright, so I've ticked
Mhm.
that plan management there.
All the,
So I'll save that part.
because you went to the sound and lighting.
Yeah,
That's
that's perfect.
you
It's
want
perfect,
that
perfect,
place.
perfect
That's
place
just
for
around the
everything.
corner from
And
Glenda.
that gives you the flexibility to put arrangements in place to be able to use providers or services of any. You negotiate.
Because I've got people I know that know the people, and
Okay.
I've got one person that knows the owner.
Yeah. Excellent. Alright.
Oh, I see another review happening.
Oh, they're happening all the time.
Okay, so this next set of questions, a lot of stuff pre-fills through to this one now, so there won't be many in this one.
Alright.
Okay. Alright, so you mentioned previously with support with personal care and stuff, that's just the prompting side of things, but you're physically able to do it all yourself.
Yep.
Okay. Do you use any continence products or anything like that?
What's
so
that?
you go to the toilet and stuff
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah.
Okay, I've already said we'll use ongoing supports from support coordination at this point. Lots of questions don't apply in this one, so we sort of jump through. No. Alright, so I'll run through the supports you had in place in the last plan. We'll just make sure they're still the same, and if they are, we'll keep them as they are.
Alright.
And if there's any new supports outside of the funded supports of, you know, your support coordinators that we need to put in, then just let me know. Okay, so you've got mum and your sister. You've got do you still see a psychologist at the moment?
Mhm.
Yep, and is that still
Still going.
monthly?
They're still going.
Ophthalmologist.
That is-
Your eyes.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, so that's still.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yes, he's due to go there.
How often do you have to go?
Right.
Well, it'll be 2 years this year, won't it?
The first time that the eye specialist has let Nathan go for 2 years.
Yeah.
Otherwise it was every year.
Okay, podiatrist.
Well, he's just started to go to the podiatrist.
I was made to go.
He
Which I
didn't
wasn't-
want to
wasn't
do
watching
that, but
teaching.
Nice
yeah.
to play with your feet.
No, he likes to be in control and
Yeah.
all the
Oh,
nails and
Don't blame me.
How often do you go to the podiatrist at the moment?
every 10 weeks, 10 to 12
10 to
weeks.
12 weeks, yep.
Doesn't take any notice of what he's supposed to do.
Don't rub this
But
on.
he doesn't mind, having it done and then
Yeah,
having
foot
the foot massage.
I'll touch the massage in. We
Which is
had.
something I haven't had.
Alright, do you see a psychiatrist still?
That's yeah.
Is that it? Aubrey?
It's at the gardens.
Oh, yep, yep.
Yeah.
And how often do you do that one?
Every.
Oh, what was the other one that you
So
said?
I
What is
think
that one?
Glen's-
Psychologist.
where's the
That would have been the
psychologist?
gardens and.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're
That's
not.
Glenn.
Did you hear
Yes,
from him?
the other one's, yeah.
So the other one's Aubrey Adult Mental Health. Is that the community?
No, he doesn't have the other
You
one.
don't
Doesn't have the other one
psychiatrist.
anymore.
No,
Okay,
got
that's
a bit mixed there.
take that one out. So who's your GP? It's just got GP written, there's no name, so.
David Oliver's my GP.
Oh yeah.
We both go to the same one.
Me too.
That's it.
Oh, do you?
Aubrey Central Medical Group.
Oh, what?
Tammy does as well.
Well, you go to David Oliver too.
Don't go asking questions, he won't tell
I
you.
don't go.
David, give me the dirt on Tammy.
I don't do that.
Natalie does as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you? Aren't you? I don't say anything.
I have to leave, guys,
Oh, right.
but I'll be
Yeah.
able to give me a ring and let me know how you went.
So you're going back to work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you finish off here because I've got another meeting.
Okay.
But then tomorrow maybe give me a ring because
Yeah.
I'm in meetings for the rest
Yeah.
of the day.
All right.
And we'll have a chat.
So about what time tomorrow can I ring you? Oh,
Whenever.
yep. All right.
And if I'm not, I'll be there. But if I'm busy or whatever, I'll just give you another ring.
What I'll do is I'll ring up and then I'll leave a message with.
You know
whoever.
you'll do that.
I'll make sure I ring up because I've got Jess tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Just give me a ring when you get up in the morning.
all right. Sure.
Okay. Thanks. I'll see you again. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Tammy.
Bye. 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 Bye.
See ya. Thanks, Tammy.
No worries. Talk to yell out if there's anything else you need from me.
No worries, I'll definitely
Yeah.
will.
Okay.
Thank you
thanks,
very
thank
much. Alright, is there any other supports you can think of, or everything's pretty well the same other than the
Well,
support?
I need the sound technology to happen because I haven't been able to
Oh,
do it.
right.
You've got the
We're
stuff.
still on that part.
Yeah, we've got it written down.
Nathan,
Oh,
can I
I
just
don't
ask a
know.
question? What does sound and technology, what does that look like for you? Is that like going volunteering at the shop? Is it?
No.
What's it look like for you?
What it is, sound and technology is like. Now that's a really good question because I know what it is. Sound and
I know what sound and technology is, but for you, what does that look like? Is that going to the shop?
What does it mean for you?
it means that with sound and technology means how to learn to use a computer more,
Yeah.
and the sound means that I want to learn how to
Yeah.
record
Yeah.
my drum covers.
So when you say sound and technology, how does that look like being delivered to you? Because you don't want to do a course.
No,
Is
I
that-
don't want to do
Are you going to
courses.
volunteer at the shop, or do you have a friend that does it in his back shed? Or when you say
No.
it's around the corner, what does that mean?
Oh,
Aubrey
there's
Sound and Lighting.
Aubrey Sound and
Okay, so there's a
He
shop.
wants-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
want to go and volunteer at the shop?
No, the people at the shop will give their time to teach Nathan, but it will come that he would have to pay them in their time to do that.
Oh, okay.
So
And
that's
they've got
why
a
we have
studio
been able
and
to
stuff.
pay.
Oh,
But they've
because we haven't
already
had the
said
plan
that they do
management.
something like that.
Yeah.
And they also set up for bands at the SSNA club and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kevin,
Because it could
his drum,
therapy.
I understand now,
knows them.
He knows the owner.
knows
Knows the owner.
Blackline Music in
Right.
Dean Street.
The boys go there too,
Boys
do their
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
So if the plan comes through Plan Manage, you've got that already set up to go.
All ready to go.
And how many days would you do that?
Whatever days they can fit me in.
Okay, thank you,
I'm,
sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
quite flexible.
Yeah, no worries. So whatever you can sort of get from that is valuable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because all the stuff,
Was it
all the
taken?
tools I need, they've got it.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I-
is it something you'd like to be able to go and do at least once a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's something you want to make sure you're doing on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Because if I don't do it regular, I'm likely to forget.
But it is a thing that he's always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's around that learning
Mm-hmm.
and seeing where that can take you later on.
Yeah.
Can I also ask, Nathan, do you have any respite or any, do you go away or does someone come in and take you out so Mum can have a break and you can have a break?
No. I'm not. I've been through that. I don't like any of that.
It's like a dirty word.
You don't like anyone taking you out one-on-one?
Oh,
Not to stay away from
Not
the
to
house.
stay away
No,
from
but
the
respite like for 3 hours.
Oh yeah, I
one-on-one.
do.
To get out of the house for Mum or for you to have a break from
So he
Mum.
does do that currently.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
that's with Jess, isn't it?
Yeah. I just was waiting for
I'm just
Bernard
wondering
to
if
get
you
to
know-
the
Yeah.
part of when Nathan does get out and he does use his community
Yeah.
access.
Which I'm up to the participant statement now, so I will read through it and see what still applies, and then we'll add that into the routine, the day-to-day, what happens each week, that kind of thing. You had down, I live with my mother Kate, Natalie, my sister, age 19, and our cat Chloe,
That's true.
who you call Dodo.
Don't put that in.
No, but
Oh, you can put it if you want
Almost
it.
19.
I like that.
In a
house in Lavington.
Yes.
So back then, that's when you just moved. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
And
just-
trust me, that was
Yeah.
hard.
yeah,
Very
you put that
stressful.
down. It was stressful.
Oh yes.
You said I have two other sisters, Sue and Lee.
No.
No.
Louise wrote that.
She
Take
got
that out.
wrong.
Take that out.
That's me.
Take that out,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
Please.
We were like, oh, I didn't know you had two sisters.
Yeah, didn't know yet.
Is that taken out?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So I've taken that out.
Yeah, she was supposed to.
She got confused.
The next bit, I have a few support workers who support me with learning and social activities Monday to Thursday. That sort of stuff, we're going to put that into the next part,
Yeah.
which is around your routine.
Yep.
Okay, so we go down to the things you like. I like my current. Don't do it.
There you go, right?
Okay, so what we've got down, you have an interest in computers,
Yes.
music,
Yes.
drumming,
Yes.
and bike riding.
Yes.
Hasn't done
I haven't
that,
done that either.
but needs
Okay.
to.
The bike one I
That's
haven't done.
He won't go bike riding by himself.
Because there's no footpath
Yeah,
on the
I've
other
put-
side.
I've put
They
that
used to
in
do
my
it-
report.
Where we used to live,
Because it was
he
easier.
used to know how he was going to get into town.
Because I knew the
when
route
he
every
wanted to
time.
ride.
It's a bit different where we are now.
Yeah.
And so he won't.
Sorry.
But I think, Glenda, you mentioned a place and I haven't done that.
It's around here.
Remember last week?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
it last week we met at Live Better?
Wasn't it World Vision or something?
Oh, Vision Australia.
Vision Australia.
Oh,
That Vision Australia might help you out with getting someone to build your confidence with your riding.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't. He hasn't gone bike riding since we've been in.
Okay. So you haven't had
Because my
that
bike's sitting
opportunity.
on a rack I brought from Aldi, sitting there with flat tyres. Haven't pumped them up.
Are they
Okay.
flat?
Yeah, they're flat as a tap.
So I did pop that into any new information to be included, or how they're happy and settled well at home and love their home. Although this home is within close vicinity to the bike path. Nathan does not yet have the confidence to be accessing the bike path or ride independently without support.
Yeah.
Although Nathan misses this activity, it causes him a high level of anxiety to think about doing it alone.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. Alright, so I've got that in there. So it says here, travel in taxis, you said, or you walk.
When I get dropped off in town, either by mum or taxi, I walk everywhere.
Yeah, so you usually travel in taxis, get dropped off by mum, or walk everywhere. So once you're in town, you're walking.
That's right, that's correct.
As I do not like travelling on buses due to bad experiences on school buses in the past. Yeah. I prefer doing things on my own or just with one other support person.
Yes.
That's right.
Excellent. So daily life, it says I am fairly independent at home with personal care, although my mum might prompt me a little with this. My jobs at home are to make my bed, keep my room tidy and put out the bins.
That's correct.
Yep. A weekly routine that includes doing various activities in the community. For example, Monday and Wednesdays I go out with a support worker and I might go to the pool, play bingo and
Bingo,
go for
and
drives.
Yeah, that's all changed.
that's all changed.
So what I might do, we might just start this routine part again. We'll just say, I'll ask you what you do each day and we'll put that in there. So you said on Mondays and Wednesdays,
Mondays and
was it?
Wednesdays I do 2 hours of reading, that's literacy. That's on Mondays.
Yep.
And Wednesdays I have maths. That's
That's what maths is.
literacy or numeracy, whatever it's called.
So reading is Mondays and maths Wednesdays, so literacy.
Yeah, that's about 2 hours
Okay.
at the library, Albury
Okay.
Library.
At the local library. Library.
Because the Albury Library is bigger because Lamington isn't.
Yeah, it's a bit
too
smaller
small
out
for
there,
me.
isn't it? Yeah.
Whereas that one out down there is much bigger. You can space yourself out.
Alright, what do you do on the other days?
Tuesdays I've got nothing.
On Tuesdays? So you just stay, do you stay home?
Mm-hmm.
I stay home. And is that when you go on the computer?
Yeah, I go on a computer all the time, every day. 7 days a week. Well, it's true.
Too much sometimes, make you a little bit dull.
It's called thinking.
You say dopey at home.
Oh, well, yeah, change me.
And that's because you're really interested in technology
Yeah,
and
love
learning.
it. Love it.
Excellent.
I don't know how he does it.
It's like when I hear things on the radio, I'm like, oh, there goes
Oh,
one thing.
yes, he's got to listen to the news every hour and then come and tell me what's happening in the world if I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Or he
you
feels
listen to the
me.
news all the time?
On the radio, plus the news on the TV. I don't watch
He
much.
won't put the TV on until I come home from work or whatever I'm doing.
Too much crap on.
And he's changed a few things on the telly, so it goes through.
It goes
Oh,
with
it's
Telstra TV.
Yeah, and it's confused me, so I tell him
yeah.
turn telly on,
Because we're
Nathan,
connected to the NBN.
and then
so.
he'll watch. He's got to watch the weather, so he likes to hear about it, or if it's getting cloudy and going to storm, he's forever watching that kind of thing.
I even
Yeah.
watched the radar, the
And
bomb
then-
radar.
Yeah,
And then you then talk to mum about whatever's been on the news or...
All the
Yeah.
time.
Okay, what do you do on other days?
Fridays, Thursdays I've got, I need a bit of help on this one. This Thursday I've got Jess for 5 hours, is that right, Mum?
yes.
Yes.
So,
She's from Australian Uni,
Okay.
by the way.
so alternate fortnights.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, 5 hours for one fortnight and 2.5 hours for the other.
So Thursdays,
They're
you
all,
have a support worker.
yeah,
Yep.
from Australian Uni,
Yeah.
it's the same person. So.
Service provider. And what do you guys do?
On the 5 hour days we go walking around Noriel, we do all sorts of things.
You have to.
We go, tomorrow I want to go to the cycle station near the railway station to find out how much it would be to hire a bike
Yeah.
To start getting my confidence back up and riding.
Okay.
Because they do, I think that Mum's said that they do
Because he
bike.
can't take his bike because there's no tow bar or anything.
Okay.
So
yeah.
if they want to ride in town, so I just said, oh, maybe you could hire a bike, but of course I don't know who's going to pay for that.
Because I can't really afford too much.
Mm.
Especially
I don't know anything about it. That's one thing you can go and check out. They do that at Cycle Station. It could be a bike with 2 seats.
And that's where, you know, Vision Australia might help out with that too,
Yeah.
because they have those.
And I do go to the pool as well.
Yeah.
To the heated pool, which I had to put a complaint in the other day.
Oh, I haven't done that yet either.
Do you go every week to the pool?
Not over the week, no.
Do you just go to the pool sometimes?
Yeah,
And you like swimming?
I love it. Especially sitting in this, nice sitting in the spa in this weather.
Yeah.
Nathan, can I ask, do you have a companion card?
Got everything.
Excellent.
Oh, you don't need any help, but you're all right.
He's
I've
always
had-
had
I've
that for years.
had it for
Oh,
years.
that's good.
That's
It's so
good.
handy. So many people
Never
don't know
wanted to
about
use
this.
it.
So many people
So,
don't.
so many people don't got
No,
that.
when I got first told about it, I thought that's it, we're getting one, and I got
No,
one.
that's fantastic.
You should at the gym.
I'll go to the gym. Which
How
was,
often do you go to the gym?
well, there's actually a gym. You know
When he's
that.
got Jess.
You know that Noel here. You got that exercise thing. You live in Albury or Wodonga?
I'm Wodonga.
Oh, okay. So
I know Albury pretty well.
you know where Noel Park is down here?
Yes, yeah.
Well, they got a thing down there.
Oh, they got the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. You can adjust everything on those things. Ryan's mouth has got bigger.
Excellent. Right, so far we've got down on Mondays and Wednesdays you do your 2 hours of reading on Mondays and maths on Wednesdays at the Albury Library, so that's your literacy and numeracy. On Tuesdays you stay at home, you go on the computer. You usually go on the computer every day as you're very interested in technology and learning. You listen to the news on the radio and the television and then talk to mum about it. Thursdays you have a support worker from your service provider and you go walking and go out in the community and places that you want to go to.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to go bike riding. You go to swimming pools sometimes and love swimming and go to the gym when you're with your support worker.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, anything else you do on any other days?
Well, once, because I'm on holidays at the moment with one thing I'm paying for it at the moment, which can you just get that thing out, Mum, please?
What the-
That thing that they kept, that,
You can remember, it's only my scribbling.
no, the thing that, the
Oh.
letter, for, so she can, so they can read it. So I don't want to mention anything yet, so,
Oh, you're very careful.
I am. I'm a bit worried.
This has,
It should be in there. I'll put it in there this morning.
Yes.
Because he dropped it this morning.
got,
It's my drunk therapy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that the one?
yes.
This is yours. This is your copy.
Perfect, thank
You
you.
keep that because we got the main
Haven't.
one.
Haven't got anything from Glenn.
He was
No.
he texted me yesterday saying he was going to contact me. I haven't heard from him. I've got-
Nathan, when I was talking to you, Glenda, sorry, Bernadette, when I was talking to you, Glenda, on the phone, and Nathan's phone rang, and you were talking, and he said, and you said you'd hang up, and he said, no, then the home phone rang, and I didn't know who it was, and it was actually Glenn.
Because what happened?
He could have joined your conversation on the...
It wouldn't have worked.
would've-
It wouldn't have worked. It
Well,
would,
it
because Glenda was on the phone, plus he was on the phone too. Because he called. Because when you called me, he called at the same time. So and then he called the home phone. I thought, how's this going to work? So
Anyway, Nathan sees him on Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be in that appointment. I don't normally go, but I'll discuss the stuff, and then he can ring you while
Is
we're
that
in
helpful?
that
Yeah,
appointment.
definitely.
Yeah,
That's really
hopefully.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
He ain't
And
got.
then he'll be able to send through
Yeah.
to Bernadette
To
what
Ed,
we need.
He
yeah.
ain't dropped it
Absolutely.
up this morning.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's perfect. So are you doing that at the moment at all?
I'm
or-
on highs at the moment
Well-
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's been doing that, but he's been paying for it himself,
Okay.
and
Like,
that is
So
not.
this is,
He can't keep
I
I
doing
can't keep
it.
doing it.
It needs
Yeah.
to come out of his.
So is that actually drumming
Yeah,
therapy?
'cause it's, yeah,
Yeah,
but
with
that
the
definitely
planned
helps.
managed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he really loves to do that, and because he had to pay for it himself, which we've come a bit unstuck,
We have.
because he was doing it weekly, and then I said, oh, you can't afford it, and then I dropped him back to fortnightly, and really speaking, with everything else that goes up, that you've got to pay for in the house and stuff,
so
can't do it.
prior to the NDIS funding, Nathan had funding that allowed him numeracy and literacy, and his tutoring from Jan and the drum therapy with Kevin.
Yeah.
So Jan and Kevin just sent their invoices off to Ability Options, and they paid for Jan and Kevin prior to Nathan becoming funded under the NDIS. So hence neither of them being registered service providers.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is where part of our heartache has come in, or most of
Issues and
really.
stuff.
You know, in explaining that Jen and Kevin couldn't be paid, that they weren't registered service providers. We went through, we had Jan and Kevin come in, we had a lot of backwards and forwards in discussing them becoming registered providers and the cost around it, but once they become registered, I mean, both of them are semi-retired.
Yeah.
So Jan's a semi-retired school teacher. You know, if she then became a registered service provider, she goes onto that list of providers, which she didn't want to become a provider for anybody else other than Nathan. So it was a lot for those two people to do, just to be able to support Nathan
Yeah.
under this funding. So that's why, you know, perhaps if the plan management was in place, we could have,
That could
in
help.
a way, negotiated for.
And it'll make me a whole lot happier than
Yeah.
being on this bloody thing.
And I'm sure that they probably charge a lot, like, they'd be charging less than what a price guide would be.
Yeah,
So it's not like
I'm
you're
not sure, but
not
it's,
sure, but
you
it's
know,
negotiable.
the fact that it's so important for Nathan in his life that
Yeah.
he is, you know, the consideration of paying for that out of his own pocket is the only option he's got, and he's maintained, you know, negotiating that time with Kevin to be able to keep doing that. And that's where the sound and lighting coming into it as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah,
he
no, that's good.
keeps those connections, and I think, you know, it allows Nathan to engage in other people, you know, like I was saying, with the similar interests, that can open his opportunities of informal supports. You know, if he then connects with the drummer who's setting up for the sound and lighting at the SSNA club, and he says, oh, come around tomorrow, we'll have a bit of a jam session. You know, Nathan then is opening opportunities for informal supports to happen
Yeah.
that, you know, quite possibly could down the track replace Kevin, you know, if Kevin's away, or, you know, 'cause Kevin's a teacher himself, so
Okay,
he
yeah.
takes off and goes away. So it then would allow Nathan to have those informal supports in
Yeah.
place, you know, with people that are willing to have Nathan go and play the drums with them, or set up the sound and lighting on the Saturday afternoon at the SSNA club. You know, that he could connect with some other like-minded people that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his mobile number's at the bottom there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. No, that's a good letter. That's really good.
He does, if you need to ring, he does have a voice message,
Mm-hmm.
and so do I,
Yeah.
if you need to.
No worries at all. If I come across any questions, I'll definitely contact.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should be doing implementation of the NDIS plan.
Because-
Usually, I know it's support coordination.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. So it just depends if the support coordination goes in, then the support coordinator will do it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some support coordinators will ask.
It's
for
just,
us to
it'll just
see.
be, I think, yeah, as a support
Hand
coordinator,
over
just to say what was approved and what,
Yeah.
what not. So that, so you know what.
Yeah,
Because some, as support coordinators, we see the plan and we actually don't know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the drumming one's really important to find
Yeah,
out
happy
if
to
that was
do
approved.
sort of a handover and
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff beforehand. That's no issue at all. Yeah.
So Nathan, what happens is when the plan comes, us as support workers don't actually know what was approved by NDIS and what
Yeah.
wasn't, because we only see what you see on the plan.
Yeah.
So it's NDIS that will say,
see
yep,
more.
the drumming was approved, or yep, that was approved,
Yeah.
or just to give us a bit
Yeah.
of a guide, a better
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
direction.
that's fine. Happy to go through a breakdown.
Because I'd hate, you know,
That's
I'd hate for
fine.
someone to put through an invoice and then NDIS go,
It's like,
bye
it's not
bye.
there. Okay, so we're up to the goals. One of your first goals last time to continue your learning program in literacy and numeracy with your support workers.
That's
So it's
true.
important for that to continue.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And all the other stuff.
Your drumming lessons is in there. So
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
we
yeah.
can put that in to continue with drumming lessons.
Don't
So, Bernadette, so the lessons, when you put lessons,
don't
that's,
put that in.
Yeah.
that
your
the change
therapy.
it to
Therapy.
therapy.
Drum therapy.
Because
So
he really needs to have that.
Because if I
It's
let
more
people,
therapy than lessons.
Yeah.
Is he a
It
therapist
is.
though?
Yeah.
He's a therapist?
Well, no, he's a drum teacher,
Yeah.
but
I just
He's-
wonder if they'll put that
it
through as
is-
therapy.
they will.
well,
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Bernadette?
um,
I just don't know
Drum
because
teacher.
I've tried to put therapies through for people, and NDI, like I think we need to put it out on the table now to say whether or not we
usually,
think they'll
yeah.
put it through or not.
Usually, if you're looking at something, it's really good to keep your goal open, and then I justify it underneath there as saying you want to continue doing this. So if you choose a different type of therapy later on, it's flexible for you to change what you're doing. So it might be just that you want to continue to undertake, activities that help you with your therapy supports or that kind
Right,
of thing.
well,
to
yeah,
help with
so
your
I know
mental
that
health or
if you put
Yeah, it's up to
lessons,
you.
you
Yeah.
Well,
don't get it.
I prefer.
just-
I
You
like
have to
that.
word it in another
Yeah, so
way
he's-
and tie it in.
I just wonder if because he's not a therapist, because Bernadette, does the daily living SAD talk about?
This will probably come under your social and community, but with that ability to improve your capacity
So no,
in other
therapy,
areas.
yeah.
But that's I reckon that it come under social community but with all these benefits attached to it.
So you're looking at,
But I'll certainly have a
What
look
was-
at where that will
Yeah,
fit
if you have a
in.
look at the therapy part,
yeah,
it'll actually say,
It could be
Yeah.
social and community capacity building.
yeah, social and community capacity building, something
Yeah.
like that. It's just, if he's not a therapist, I'll
no, he's not, he's a, from,
talks about individual assessment therapy and or training to assist, and they talk, it's not there in that section, but if you look on the NDIS, the improved daily living.
yeah, so, yes.
So have you trained in this NDIS before, or?
Oh, I've done plenty
Oh,
now.
that's alright. That's okay.
Yeah, so it will fit under. Your other goal is to continue social, recreational, community activities.
Yeah.
It will fit under that goal.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Absolutely,
Oh,
at both.
So is that the core?
It could be both.
Right,
Absolutely,
okay,
it can fit under both.
okay.
Depends on how I put it in there and how
Yes,
I
And that's
Yes,
why we
please
need
be
you,
careful.
when the
So-
plan comes out, we need Bernadette
Yes.
to pass over an implementation with us, I
Yeah.
think. So we can be right on the money
Mm-hmm.
about what's being put in there and what hasn't.
Because I still say it was how it was all worded the first time with
It
Louise.
had to be, yeah.
And that was all the problems we had, and for Nathan to understand, for all of us. I wasn't very good with it, and I still have issues with
We
it.
all do.
And I just thought that,
Yeah.
I'll
gosh,
show
I've
you
got
something
this.
too when we meet up one day,
yeah,
which is like a shopping list, if you like, for NDIS. Have you seen that? It's it's everything. So you can, well, you'd be all over this, Nathan. You just Control F, so find, and you go into this thing, and I'll show you it. And you type in therapy, and or type in one of your sections off the plan, and it'll give you everything that you can purchase, if you like, from that section. It'll give you the price. It'll give you whether we need to go
What's
back
that
to
called?
NDIS. It's a CSV file. You aware of CSV files?
I've never heard of it.
It's something that down the track, maybe when we catch up and have a look at the support coordination contract,
Have
I'd
you
like
heard-
to meet up with you. I'll show you all that. I'll show you the portal.
yeah.
Have you heard of the Have you heard of the growing space?
The growing space, is that under NDIS? Is that like a grassroots Facebook
No, it tells
page or
you
something?
it tells you about agency managed,
Yep.
plan managed,
Yeah.
and self managed.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I
really
found all
information.
that.
That's excellent.
It's like a table.
Good. Well, we
Well, we
can,
got it in
we
there,
can
Mum?
learn some
Oh,
stuff
that's
off each other. We
good.
might be able to sit there and I might be
Yeah.
able to teach you some things and you might be able to
No,
teach
that's
me
good.
some things.
Alright. So,
You're still going to be around?
Yeah, I'll still be around.
No.
I'm not getting rid of her number, thank you.
She will have a different job to do. though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's, but
Yeah.
Kim's certainly taught me a number of things, so
Right.
it'll be.
And if
So
you like,
So
you
Kim,
can
you're
catch
going
up
to
down
be
there.
in Albury?
I'm based in Wagga, but I travel to Albury all the time.
Oh, right. Yep.
An hour and a half down the road.
yes.
Yeah.
In the NDIS world, that's nothing.
No.
I do the 3 hours to mow over some days.
Oh,
Alright, so that goal then, to continue social, recreational and community activities so you can do the things that you're interested in.
Yes.
Alright, you had on there on your last plan to develop financial and budgeting skills.
Take that
Do
out.
you want to do that?
No. Take that out.
To explore learning opportunities in sound engineering. So that's around you being able to have that one-on-one
Yes, yes,
learning.
yes,
Not an educational facility, but learning with a one-on-one person.
Yes, because that works better for me.
Alright, so I would like to explore. We like to put it in your words instead of just going to explore.
Yes.
So I
Yep.
would like to explore
Mhm.
learning opportunities in sound engineering one-on-one.
Yep.
So that's under learning. Okay, to continue getting support from a psychologist to work on your coping skills.
That keeps going.
Mm.
It'll be ongoing all the time.
Yeah.
What's this wall up, as you know?
And please
No,
pay
it's
for
called
that.
a scar, mate.
Please paying for that?
Yes.
Yes, the plan's paying for that for you.
Nathan
No,
pays for that
pays for it at the moment.
because he's a private one and he won't go to.
You
So
won't do
Nathan goes
Again,
every
plan
month.
management.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on NDIS provider.
Yeah.
And
That'll be good then.
Yep.
That'll be good because then
That's
the
around
psychologist we can pay the psychologist
oh, really?
bill
If
for
it's
you.
on
Yes.
plan managed,
Once
even
they're
though
plan
it's
managed.
private.
Yep, as long as he's a legitimate business.
Oh yes.
And he's not a backyard.
No,
Which
no.
I'm sure
Nathan.
he's not.
He's not a
Nathan met
backyard,
him.
So the plan managed means that they don't have to be an NDIS
Yes.
provider. The
Right.
psychologist isn't an
Yeah.
NDIS.
See, that's another thing.
So that'll come off, and that'll come off this section here.
Yeah.
So this is where your therapy comes from, the improved
No,
Right.
that's all
Yeah.
it's good to learn.
So we need to keep that psychologist. And out of this one too will come things like speech therapist. You probably don't need speech
You
therapist.
used
No,
to.
I used to.
Physio.
No, I don't do that.
There's also, there's things like PT, like personal training and stuff like that. if you
Oh,
need that.
now that'd be good.
I'm just thinking under improved well-being, Bernadette.
He does need to. He eats a little bit of
Exercise
junk
physiologist
stuff.
and personal training.
Well,
He's
not
starting
bad.
to get a little donut.
No,
around.
but
You
you
start.
did identify that you go to the gym, and that would just be someone that could write you up a plan and put you through a program, and then your worker would either go with
Yeah.
you and do that with you.
Yeah.
or
I've
not.
been
And
through-
exercise
I've
physiology.
Been
Yeah.
through a plan before, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, but it'd be different.
Alright, okay.
And it may
If
be
you've got
that someone,
with you.
if it's approved through NDIS, it may be that someone, actually you meet a personal trainer for half an hour
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It won't be the one when I.
on a Thursday, for example, and he puts you through your paces.
Or
Okay.
she.
Or she puts you through your paces.
Alright.
We've got a great, lovely lady that's been running some classes down at Live Better.
Oh.
She's a personal trainer. She's great.
Oh, that'd be even good.
She's
He doesn't like someone being very strict.
I hate it.
Oh no,
And
she's,
Natalie
she's
comes
lovely,
over that
and
way
she's
sometimes,
older than she's
and you
older
don't
than
like
me.
it.
She's
That's why
lovely,
he listens to
really
Natalie
nice,
and
really
like-
happy.
Right.
Sometimes,
More soft
sometimes I don't like being people being strict with me too, but sometimes when I work and I've got a boss and I've got a partner, and sometimes I just have to be told I don't like it and I stamp my feet. But guess what? Sometimes it
Yeah.
happens.
I put my foot down too.
Yeah, but sometimes we have to negotiate. We have to meet the person in the middle.
That's
don't we?
very good. So this is why he needs to have that, because he didn't get it, and it's made it awkward. So yeah, Nathan's been paying for Glenn for a long time,
Long time.
and he's not cheap, but he understands Nathan, and Nathan just gets a lot out of that.
So I teach
And
him
he's
stuff
known
too,
the family
I'm sure you
of all
do.
the stuff.
because he has a MacBook too.
Oh, you're teaching IT.
Well, we're here so far. So I've got your first goals. I want to continue my literacy and numeracy program with a one-on-one support
Yep.
worker. I want to continue social, recreation and community activities so that I can do the things I'm interested in. So that includes the drumming, the stuff you're doing with Jess, you know, any bike
Yep.
riding, that kind of stuff.
Yep, yep.
I would like to explore learning opportunities in sound engineering one-on-one, so that's around the way you learn is up to you, it doesn't
Yes.
have to be a course.
Yes, yes.
And I want to continue to get support from a psychologist to work on coping skills. Okay.
Because what also happens when I get nervous, you know what I also do?
Yeah, he pays
Pays,
more
yeah.
and
And it gets worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
But that's one thing I didn't mention either.
Is there anything else you can think of with goals at the moment, or do you think that's plenty for you to
Did you
work
put
on?
photography in?
So
So
yeah,
that
that's
could.
the other thing that we have.
Right.
Is
the bike a lot, and we've said the
Photography,
bike
right,
riding.
So they can either come under your social and community, or can go under your learning opportunities in sound engineering and photography, if you want to add that in as well.
Yes.
Because that'll be around you just doing those one-on-one hands-on activities with a support person
Yep.
around you learning about those
Yes,
things.
that's right.
yeah,
And
which
what about
has been what
bowling?
happens.
He
So I
loves
put on there
bowling,
like
but not
the
can't
support
always
staff
afford to
support.
go to that. So where would that come out of?
The bowling cost will come out of Nathan's pocket,
Yeah,
but
So-
support worker would be like the Jess.
yeah.
Yeah, to go down there with
So
him.
if the other things like him seeing Glenn and
Comes out of here, we'll give you a bit more money
yeah.
in your budget.
Very good.
yes,
Yeah. And it'll be my job to sit down with you to help you look at your plan and look at what all the costs are coming
Yeah.
out and make it fit.
Yeah,
Right.
make it all happen.
Yep.
right,
You know, see how often you can do each thing and, you know, what the budget allows for. And,
yeah,
but it sounds to me like that plan management is the only way that all this stuff's going to happen.
yeah.
So I think you've got enough justification there and proof that it's needed.
Yeah.
One thing, do not lose that piece of paper kept there on record.
No, that's why I'll even scan it and upload it. So
Good.
I'll always have it.
Yeah.
So that they'll use that, like I'll use that as my justification as to why these sorts of things are important for you and what
And
it does
please
to
do
help
it,
you.
and please do it.
Bernadette, it should be able to be plain to see for these people who look at it that nothing has it. All the things that Nathan wanted to do, it hadn't worked
Yeah.
in the agency managed.
Yeah.
So it's been very
You've
difficult.
identified particular
Yeah.
supports that
Yeah.
haven't been able to be accessed, which is
And
what I'll put in
things
there
you
as my
want.
justification.
And do it 100% too, because I don't want any stuff ups.
Yes.
All I've got to say is has had difficulty using his plan because
Yeah.
all
Yep.
the providers you've needed have not been NDIS registered.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that's
Thank you
all.
so
I
much.
have.
But in saying that, it has allowed you to meet some new workers and to
Absolutely.
be welcoming to, and that's been a really great thing that you've done, Nathan. It's taken a bit of time in finding the right person and then negotiating with Australian Unity. We've been backwards and forwards with them quite a lot, and in relation to transport, but around Jess's availability, and then a replacement for Jess and somebody that could come when Jess wasn't available. There's been a lot of negotiating there, and I think you've done really well in getting to where you are at the moment.
Thanks.
What about the day trips?
Oh
Is it
yeah,
gonna
day
put
trips got to be mentioned
them
too.
in? Or they're automatically in?
Well, it might then be how whatever you end up then getting funded for will then be worked
We'll have
out.
to crunch the numbers.
Yeah, so it's like doing a budget
Between
of your
us?
plan.
Yeah,
Like you would do. I know you said you don't do your financial budget, but this budget you'll have to work with me on that.
Yes.
Because it's your NDIS plan. So,
So
I'll have a bit of a
what
budget
hours
too.
you'll
We
be
can
able
crunch
to
some
do.
numbers. We'll find out off Australian Unity how
Yeah.
much, like if you say I want 10 hours a week, for example, how much they're going to charge. We'll look at that cost.
Mhm.
We'll look at the cost of, the psychologist and all that sort of stuff, and I'll help you
Mhm.
go through a thing to make whatever's
Yeah.
in the money in here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Make
Right.
sure you got enough to get you through the year,
Mhm.
and
Which is sort of, we haven't had the opportunity to do that because we haven't had the supports that
Yeah.
you've wanted
Mm.
and needed, and
Yeah.
You'll
just
have to
by our
take a-
negotiating.
you'll have to take a big lead on this, and I think you can do it.
If it's stuff you're interested in,
Yeah.
I got stuff I'm
then
interested in.
there'll be a.
But you just
It's more interesting then, isn't it?
but you have to keep an eye on. I'll help you.
Oh,
Keep an
thank
eye
you,
on
I keep
everything.
on
With
everything.
the
Thank you,
financials
Rory.
as well, and the
Mm.
budget.
So that's
And I'll
getting
work
onto
with
that
you on
portal that we got on.
Yeah.
I've been checking. I've
Yeah,
been
didn't
checking.
know anything.
We didn't even know anything about
that.
it till it went
Oh,
to us.
okay. Yep, so you're on the portal
Oh,
now though?
yes.
Excellent.
So can I ask, what about the transport allowance? Are you getting that?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's for the new mobility.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
didn't automatically change over. When people went onto NDIS, it didn't automatically go over for some people.
Right, because
So you had
I
to
think he
instigate.
got number 2. When you 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
you got number 2,
Yeah.
and
What's number 3?
the
Previous
lowest.
one's full-time study or work
Oh,
or something
okay.
like that, yeah.
Okay. That's
And
more.
Yeah.
two is just for community access. You are doing activities like going out with your support workers and stuff like
Right,
that.
yeah.
And one is for people that want to be able to go out but might not be able to
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
don't have anything in place at
Right.
the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, you will get that again.
Oh, good.
You will get that
That's
transport
good.
again. There's
That's
no
good.
doubt about that.
That's good.
Great.
And yeah, we'll have a look at that and see what fits in where and
So Bernadette, when will that plan come through?
Don't say 2 weeks.
So
Oh, it's gonna be a
you
little
know the
while. It
question that Nathan
not
was
up
asked
to like
about
the
12 months
5th
or
or the
2
22nd.
years. Should it be 12 months?
I think 12 months is good because
Yeah.
you can keep tabs on it. You can have a look in 12 months' time and say, how did this year go compared
Yeah.
to the year before?
Yeah.
Yep, we're liking what we're doing, and then you may go 2 years
yeah,
then.
exactly.
And not have to worry
Right,
about it.
okay, yeah.
But I think you need to play around a little bit. You need to crunch some numbers a little bit and put the feelers out there and
Yeah.
see what works and what doesn't. And I can help.
This one is 27.
Right, okay.
This one
Yeah,
expires
and I'll be able
by
to
the
do-
17th of next month, so it has to be before then.
Uh-huh.
And I'll get this all put in by tomorrow, I reckon.
Yep.
So, once that's done, it gets sent off for approval. They just check over my work to make sure I've done everything right.
Alright.
That's all.
So
Okay.
Bernadette, you don't need to be in touch with Glenn Chuck, do you? Nathan's psychologist.
His report coming through would probably help.
That would help, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have
So
an
if
email
it is
address
a-
that you had?
Yeah, I can give you my
So-
email address if you like.
Yes, please.
I will
On a
grab a card for
Yeah,
you.
that got a card.
Yeah.
So, because
Glenn, do you
Because that'll
don't
definitely
or
help.
can
Yeah.
you be talking to Glenn?
Well, if you're going to be in there on
Yeah.
Friday and
Yes.
you want Glenn to have a chat with me on Friday,
Yes.
if he calls while you're
Yep.
there,
Yeah,
that would be
we'll-
good. Because that's probably the only way legally that he can talk to me about you guys is to
Right,
have you there.
because Nathan's appointment's 2 o'clock
Yep.
and it usually goes for an hour. May go over a tad. Yeah, but Nathan's, originally when Nathan started going to Glen, he had to have me with him.
Yeah.
And this last 12 months, he's been going by himself because I haven't gone with him because with all the stuff happening with the NDIS, he's been so cranky and everything. I've stepped away from that because I've been going to my own things and let him do that by himself.
Sure.
But if Glenn needed to talk to me, then he would ring me up when he's with Nathan and ask me the
That's
questions.
my email address
So,
there, and I'll be here.
yeah,
Thank you.
but this
Thank you very
time
much.
I'll
Do
go
you have
and
a, do you have a
to
test
discuss.
number
Yeah.
as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can give me a call.
Yeah.
I'll pop down my mobile.
Yeah, maybe I'll be
Yeah,
there.
because I've usually got it on me.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you got an iPhone too, that's
Yes.
alright.
yeah. I don't know the number.
I know mine off by heart.
No,
What
I
did you-
did.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. So I'll get everything in, and then what I'll do is I'll put in there that there's a report following, because they won't have it done in the next 2 to 3 days, but I can at least get everything in
Yep.
and ready to go. So, yeah, if they can just provide a little summary or a report around, why it's needed and,
so
and
that's
what
a-
impacts
yeah,
it's
that's
had,
what I
then-
put in my email to him. So
Yeah. So they will say that you're able to get mainstream through your doctor. You'll be able to get a referral for a certain amount, but it'd be good to
Yeah,
have that
he does.
top up.
Is that the mental health plan?
Yeah.
He
so-
does get that.
Excellent.
So
yeah.
he gets 10 a year.
Yeah.
And he's been going monthly. Sometimes he could go 6 weeks, and I just said to Nathan, because you're paying for Glenn and things are looking a bit not good on his budget, I think you might have to go every 6 weeks because he's not cheap. And
You don't want to cut back though, either.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
No, we can't.
because he does need to go there.
yeah.
So Glenn's not being funded under the mental health, the 10 free visits? No.
All I
who's-
know,
who's
Nathan
just
goes
mental
to
health?
David Oliver and he does the mental health plan
yeah.
and he gets 10 visits.
But not those extra.
But then Medicare pay back the
So much.
half
Mm, okay.
of it and then he loses the rest.
Yeah.
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 So when he was with Ability Options, they used to fix up the difference. But it's all changed and can't have that. So if the plan managed, then that can help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pay for it.
definitely.
Yeah. So I'll see what we can get happening there. So I'll put all requests in.
Yep.
And then I'll put down, we're just waiting on a letter, because even if I submit it tomorrow, they're not going to get to it by Friday or Monday, so I have time, I can still upload information
Yeah,
after the fact, which is fine.
because I've got last year's letter, but I didn't really like it. I
No.
thought there was some things in there that,
I didn't.
yeah, I think you would probably just need him to keep it brief and
yes,
to
And not-
keep it really
'Cause there's-
focusing on, these
What it-
things
yeah.
and the-
Recommendations
Yeah.
moving forward, if he
No,
could
but,
mention something like how many sessions too?
Yeah.
Because that's what
yeah,
we could put through for funding, that's important.
Yeah, so I can see all the stuff that was put in there last year as well, so I'll
yeah,
be able
and
to
I
refer
didn't
to
like some of
the
it,
stuff.
and some of it needing to went in
Oh
there
yeah,
because
that's...
it was about Ability Options worker.
Yeah, just needs to be factual,
Yeah,
moving forward recommendations,
Yeah.
what he thinks, and what the sessions, like,
Yeah.
when the sessions.
And how it all links to your own, what they've said your disability is. So they've, you don't want it so much being, alright, this is about just your mental health. It's because of the struggles you face with your own difficulties. As long as it links to that.
because I know that Bernadette, that Glenn has talked about numerous times of the word work,
Yep.
and Nathan puts up that wall, and no matter how many times he's tried to talk about that, that doesn't change with Nathan. When there's a scar there, it stays there.
It never goes away.
Yeah, so as Glenda said, all that stuff, all that is perfect with how she put it out there.
Okay, no worries.
So-
That's good.
Australian Unity
Oh, yeah.
stuff
So
like
I
that.
think we've got everything we need at the moment. Like I've filled out all the questions.
Did you want my email too?
I might just check if I've
And-
got that.
Another question I got for you, Bernadette.
Yeah, no
You,
worries.
does some of last year's stuff go in with this review?
I'll only refer
Those
to it
letters
if it's
from
relevant.
that weren't very good.
No.
Right.
It's only if it's something that's still relevant.
Yeah.
No, so his
Yeah.
new letter will be the most updated,
Yeah.
which is sort of a bit of a progress of the last 12 months,
Yes.
and that his recommendations moving forward are for Nathan to continue
Yeah.
seeing him and building those
Yeah.
coping strategies. I mean, we've all seen that Nathan certainly needs to continue seeing Glenn to be able to cope with you know, and I'm sure if there's anyone that can have a bit of input, it's Natalie into, you know, but, you know, I think certainly in the time that I've known you guys, there's been a nice change in Nathan's patience and his ability to listen a bit better, which is certainly part of Glenn's doing through this process. I mean, you know, you lasted a whole of 16 minutes or something the first meeting we had. We've had a couple of meetings where he's lasted 3.
Yes.
But we've had some really great meetings that have been tough information for Nathan to hear, but he's stuck them out. So,
That's
you know,
right.
I think
Yep,
you've really worked through some really great things in the last 3 to 4 months.
Well, you're lucky I'm still in this room because the last time I walked
Yeah, several.
This meeting's
I think we came to about 7 of these things with Louise.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have to say,
my sister had to end up, because I was coming as well, because she's very good with Nathan. When Nathan, when he gets worked up, he's just got to go.
It's confusing.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
At first
Yeah, I walked out
these
and,
guys didn't have any idea going
Yes.
from the process that they had
No, I
to the
didn't.
process that was
So
going
much.
to be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very new.
And that's
That's the
why
new one. We get confused.
there's a lot of people that don't get the support coordination,
Yeah.
and they have to you know, hopefully they're doing okay and they can sort of
Yeah.
go. So you're lucky that with Live Better support coordination, the plan's been offered, and we'll
I would
guide
like
you
that to
through that.
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your email address, Nathan?
is it in me?
I have Natalie's, I think.
I'll give you
And
mine.
once the plan comes
Are you
through,
ready?
so,
It's
can
all in
email me as
lowercase, is Nathan.
so once
I'm
the
not
plan
very
comes
good on
through,
that.
One,
That's
I do have an
199.
email, but I do
01.
check occasionally.
so once the
Okay.
plan comes through, the first thing we'll have to do is, so we have to sign a contract. You're probably aware of this, we have to sign a contract for everything you do,
Yeah.
because
Nathan
it just
was
means that
901
you're willing to
at
pay
Yeah, perfect.
Live Better or Australian Unity out of this.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't lose it.
You're the
Yeah.
boss of this.
agreement.
Yeah.
Service
Because you can send me emails
So
about
I'll
this
do
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. So if I've
Yeah.
got
Which means that I'll
questions,
come out and
usually
then
I can see when the plan comes back before they
Yeah.
do.
or maybe in the
So
park.
I'd get in touch
Or
and say,
meet
look,
down
it's
at
come
the
back, I'm
office,
going to talk to
whatever
these
way
guys,
you
just so you're aware of where
Yeah,
it's
no,
really
please,
like to
because I
empower
would
you.
like that.
Yeah,
take more
and just
control
think
over
you're
his
on the
plan.
home stretch with
Yes.
this last
Because when you
plan.
get that buy-in,
So
Yeah.
we're getting closer
Become
to having
interested.
something new in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And I really hope we can
I
get
think-
that plan management.
Yeah,
process
oh,
and all
it's
the different-
Yeah.
I'm very desperate for that because you know,
Yeah.
I
it really
think so.
helps.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and work with Nathan to maybe redirect where the first inquiry comes. So it might be, first inquiry is to me,
Yes.
and then I will help him negotiate with everyone else,
Yeah.
because that will be my role.
Right.
We're just saying, Nathan, when your plan comes through, I'll come out and meet with you and your family, or at your house, wherever you're comfortable, at the bike park, wherever you want to do. Picnic in the park, it doesn't matter. Because I think I'd like to work with you to empower you to have control of your plan. Because once we have control of something, we feel better about it, don't we?
Yeah.
We do. And everything's not crazy.
Yeah.
So I will support you to have choice and control over
Thank
this
you.
document.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
It's
thank
going to be tough.
Now the question I want to know, if it's at the house, are you allergic to cats?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
They make me sneeze. Can you lock it up?
No, are you seriously allergic?
Oh, they make me sneeze. I really do. They
Just
make
pop
me.
her
Yeah,
in
well,
my
you'll
room.
we'll be
Just pop her in
meeting
that
Kim
meeting.
down at Live Better.
They just make me sniff a little bit. Yeah, animal head.
Well, it's lucky not so things. I think I've got a bit of fur on me.
Yeah, yes, Chloe brushes up against
So
us
do you
every
like all
day.
animals?
Well, I've only got one.
No, but do you like all animals?
Except for snakes and
Except for
spiders.
Do you
snakes.
like horses?
Pardon?
I used to rhyme, but I don't like them. But
No. As in just to be around.
no. I only like cats and dogs and stuff.
There's some great therapies with equine therapy that I keep talking to everyone about, and dog therapy. And
Yeah.
so Live Better does some dog companion therapy where they bring a dog out and because they say animals are
Oh, he
very-
loves dogs.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Very good
Have a
therapy.
report.
And using that,
Excellent.
yeah, animal therapy, really?
That's
Yeah.
alright.
Oh.
Perfect.
Well, he loves cats and dogs, but we just can't have a dog.
And I'll let you know if I need. You can't really have any
So
more.
we have volunteers
Yeah,
to bring in
sorry,
their dogs, they're all
I was
vet
waiting
covered
for
and-
Glenn's
Yes.
stuff,
They bring in
and
their
but
dogs.
I
Yeah,
just
no,
don't
that's
know.
alright.
Just
We
got
know
to
it's
today.
Hopefully talk to them.
So we
about-
finished?
Come out for an hour.
We're done.
And take them for a walk.
You serious? What time is it?
Because they say that at
One
work.
o'clock.
Yes.
We'll But as soon as we get the plan,
Yep.
I'll come and meet up and we'll go from
Well,
there.
you'd better get planned managed.
Yeah,